I adore pretty much everything about Dino Crisis 1. The music, puzzles, story, graphics, horror and setting. They are all great. The only thing it's really lacking in is the missing variation of different areas. Dino Crisis 2 is probably my favorite action game from the late 90s. It controls great for the time, it's incredibly varied in terms of gameplay and setting. It looks great and it's just a lot of fun. But what exactly does it to be so different from the first game? The first reason is the variation in areas. I just said that it's the area Dino Crisis 1 is lacking in, but it's also the area Dino Crisis 2 excels in, and also one of the reasons that indirectly lead to it being less scary. While pretty much all areas in Dino Crisis look and feel the same, there are plenty of different areas in Dino Crisis 2. It starts in the jungle, then there are these weird facilities with plenty of different areas, the third energy facility, Edward City, caves, the city outskirts, and plenty more. Although the game isn't that long, there are still plenty of areas with a different feel and look. It's probably one of my favorite aspects of the game. While in Dino Crisis 1 I've always wished for more outside areas, I got plenty of them in the second one. But while I love the bigger variation of areas in Dino Crisis 2, there isn't a single one that is as scary or eerie as the areas in the first game. But to be honest, that has nothing to do with the greater amount of areas, but more so the look and feel of them. Dino Crisis 1 feels cold, lonely and dangerous. The sky is black and many areas are not very well lit. The lack of detail caused by the 3D environments also attribute to it. Everything just feels empty and abandoned, which it kind of is. Dino Crisis 2 is the complete opposite. Most of the areas are very well lit and in broad daylight. The 2D pre-rendered backgrounds are also way more detailed and don't feel as cold and empty. Another part of this is also the music. Fitting to the gameplay, the music of the second game is very fast and contributes to the action, especially in the beginning parts. While in Dino Crisis 1 the music is way more atmospheric and mysterious. For comparison, that is Dino Crisis 1. And this is Dino Crisis 2. I think these two clips represents the game quite good, although there's also music in both games that is more similar to the other one, so please keep that in mind. I will also argue that the first game is more gory. Although Dino Crisis 2 features some blood, especially for action game, it doesn't come close to Dino Crisis 1 where you basically can't go 2 rooms straight without some gruesome corpse and blood on the walls and floors. Another step to making it an action game is the lack of puzzles in Dino Crisis 2. While the first game features a lot of puzzles that can be very tricky and take some time, the second basically has none. This is probably the second biggest change into making the game more fast-paced and action-orientated. The biggest change is undoubtedly the change in gameplay. I already said several times that Dino Crisis 2 is more action-focused, but this is actually an understatement. Already kinda obvious in regard to the previous aspects, but Dino Crisis 2 has basically no horror in it. And while I would have loved to have a survival horror Dino Crisis 2, the way they made it an action game is probably the best one imaginable. In opposite to the more action-orientated Resident Evil games that are kind of lackluster and neither proper action nor horror, they went all out. Apart from the lack of puzzles, there are also a lot more dinosaurs, more weapons, more ammo and more health. For comparison, there are only a couple of usable and unique weapons in Dino Crisis 1. You basically have a pistol, a shotgun and a grenade launcher. While Dino Crisis 2 has more crazier weapons. There are pistols, dual SMGs, a shotgun, a flamethrower, a freaking anti-tank rifle and more. These weapons are a lot stronger than the ones from the first game and you can kill dinosaurs like flies. In Dino Crisis 1 pretty much every single raptor was a major threat that took up a lot of ammunition and I've often found myself running away from them. In Dino Crisis 2 I actively looked for them and wanted to kill them. There's also a slightly bigger variation of dinosaurs that you can kill during the second game. But apart from bigger mechs, you can now buy ammo and health at new buy stations with points that you gain by killing dinosaurs. You can even get bonuses if you have a good enough combo or if you aren't hit. There are even sections, for example the tank or when going from section to section, where you just have to defend from enemies with unlimited ammo. So the game actively encourages you to kill as much as possible, while the first game did the opposite. I think it's apparent how Dino Crisis 2 basically does a lot of things the complete other way around compared to Dino Crisis 1, and amazingly they managed to not only make one of the best horror games on the PS1, but also the best action game on the console. But do you prefer the first or second installment to the Dino Crisis series? Please comment down below. Apart from that, I would greatly appreciate if you subscribe to the channel if you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching. I think I also need a Dino Crisis counter after that video.